mean, I think as me and you have talked and we've talked on the show, this is just the beginning. I mean, I think this is ultimately going to be another 2-3 year bull market for tech because it's a fourth industrial revolution that's playing out in front of us. And that's going to be big tech and the multiplier. And I think Street's underestimating AI capex potential by 30 to 40%. And I think the biggest thing here is the multiplier. For every dollar spent on an NVIDIA chip, there's an 8 to 10 multiplier across the rest of tech. And this is just...
As we've discussed on the podcast and in our conversations, I believe that this is only the beginning. Since we are witnessing the fourth industrial revolution, which will be dominated by big tech and the multiplier, I believe that this will eventually be another 2 to 3 year bull market for technology. The Street, in my opinion, undervalues the potential of AI capex by 30 to 40%. The multiplier is, in my opinion, the most significant factor here. Every dollar spent on an NVIDIA processor multiplies by 8 to 10 in the rest of the technology. This is only the start. Now that the rest of technology is seeing the advantages of the AI revolution, get your popcorn ready. However, the AI revolution is now reaching consumers as well as businesses, thanks to Cupertino. There will be a lot of deal making. We believe that over 50% of tech will be deal making. The stronger will get stronger, in my opinion. That will be advantageous, and Musk and Tesla stand to gain the most, in my opinion. In our opinion, Tesla's market value might reach $2 trillion by the end of 2025 due to its autonomous vision and deregulation in the Beltway. The future of autonomous technology is now in sight for Tesla, and in my opinion, autonomous technology alone is worth $1 trillion. I believe the bears have overlooked this because AI is not visible in their spreadsheets. This is a name that will keep rising in value. In my opinion, disruptive technology and autonomous robotics could result in a market valuation of at least $2 trillion by 2025. With a few more chips, I think there will be a car out for NVIDIA, a car out for Apple, and a car out for Tesla. Based on our observations of the Gigafactory, we believe that Tesla ultimately succeeds due to their presence in China. Until next year, there will be a significant rise in deliveries of 15 to 20%. In terms of delivery, I believe China is beginning to recover. This quarter, we're beginning to notice it. Furthermore, many of their price reductions have already occurred. I'm not arguing that certain things couldn't still occur because of this. Now for Tesla stockholders, this is much more of a champagne occasion, even though there will be some bumps along the way. As a result, many bears are entering hibernation mode. Their spreadsheets allow us to see consolidation from an EV standpoint, While the international consolidation from Europe transfers somewhat to Asia, you'll also see several of the big three go more hybrid and perhaps tone down that strategy. This will come to pass. In the end, Tesla is at the summit of that mountain. When it comes to the EV market, everyone else is paying rent while Tesla continues to rule the world. There is more to Tesla's remarkable success than merely watching from the sidelines. With the most recent information on Tesla, stock price targets, innovation, and all things Elon Musk, Seeking Alpha is the one-stop shop for Tesla bulls and those with an eye for finding the next big thing in the stock market. Our channel may receive a commission if a customer makes a purchase after clicking on the affiliate links in the description. In terms of scale and scope, this is again bad for the EV industry, but good for Tesla. However, if you observe how they are sweeping the leg on the EV tax credits, Tesla will only gain an advantage. To be clear, though, that is the appetizer. The primary event here is the AI future, which is what we are concentrating on and the bright spot at the end of the rainbow. I believe the light bulbs went out there. The point is that, even with all of the Super Bulls, the bears are unable to identify artificial intelligence in their spreadsheets. They therefore don't comprehend this move when they're sitting there in hibernation state. According to the Tesla article, autonomous is valued at $1 trillion. As all of this unfolds, I think it's only the beginning. This is still, in my opinion, the best pure AI play available. I predict that by the first half of next year, you will own a car that costs less than $30,000. All of it, in my opinion, fits into their total growth projection of 20% to 30% by 2025. Now consider their manufacturing capacity and cost of goods. In the end, it's down 30 to 40%, and it might drop another 20 to 30% the next year. Without a question, the year has been difficult for EVs and lower demand, as evidenced by the margins. I believe that the current growth renaissance is continuing till 2025. Autonomous, and I believe many additional development drivers come next. That, in my opinion, is the secret to a market valuation of at least $1 trillion. I mean, the bears who have been pessimistic, since the market's worth of $100 million will emerge from hibernation today. In actuality, however, they will create more than 2 million cars in the upcoming year. When you consider the overall growth story, greater penetration on FSD conversation, and I believe more details regarding autonomous, FSD, and Cybertruck last night, many of those details may have upset some RoboCab customers today. No, I wasn't. It's just execution now, you see. However, I think this story's advancement is the most underappreciated AI play available. In fact, I believe that within the next 2 to 3 years, you and I may find ourselves in a cyber cab. Therefore, we're not discussing something that will happen in 5 or 10 years. This is something that will come to pass in the upcoming years. This isn't necessarily a bad thing for Uber, in my opinion. Of course, Lyft has its own problems. However, if you look at Tesla, this will be the next phase of development, autonomous, FSD, and AI. However, it boils down to needing the margins and the delivery. They are fulfilling every requirement. In fact, I felt that was perhaps the nicest conference call I've heard from Tesla and Musk in a long time. Our current boom is expected to continue long into 2025 or 2026, since I think Tesla is a company that might eventually double from here over the next 18 months. I think a lot of this noise we see here is more of an opportunity to purchase these names than a time to get anxious. The move has been blatantly parabolic. However, as you and I discuss, we believe that autonomous itself is worth $1 trillion. Therefore, in my opinion, Tesla is the most underappreciated AI brand available now. It's not absurd. It may even be conservative to speculate that, depending on how the autonomous tale turns out, this stock could be worth $500 or $600. The margin story has obviously leveled off here, in my opinion. Look, investors, the haters are still going strong. Just as they hated it at $50, they'll hate it now. However, I believe that when you look at the market in 2025 and what we envision for Tesla, this will be kind of a golden star. This stock has a 3 in front of it if they even reach the lower end of that range. After 6 months of sleep, I believe that NVIDIA and Jensen, the godfather of AI, will be at the forefront of the AI revolution in the upcoming years. In the upcoming years, Tesla and the hyperscale companies will both be significant AI players. The market's most underappreciated AI play is still Tesla. Next, that, in my opinion, is the secret to a market valuation of at least $1 trillion. I mean, the bears who have been pessimistic, since the market's worth of $100 million will emerge from hibernation today. In actuality, however, they will create more than 2 million cars in the upcoming year. When you consider the overall growth story, greater penetration on FSD conversation, and I believe more details regarding autonomous, FSD, and Cybertruck last night, many of those details may have upset some RoboCab customers today. No, I wasn't. It's just execution now, you see. However, I think this story's advancement is the most underappreciated AI play available. In fact, I believe that within the next 2 to 3 years, you and I may find ourselves in a cyber cab. Therefore, we're not discussing something that will happen in 5 or 10 years. This is something that will come to pass in the upcoming years. This isn't necessarily a bad thing for Uber, in my opinion. Of course, Lyft has its own problems. However, if you look at Tesla, this will be the next phase of development, autonomous, FSD, and AI. However, it boils down to needing the margins and the delivery. They are fulfilling every requirement. In fact, I felt that was perhaps the nicest conference call I've heard from Tesla and Musk in a long time. Our current boom is expected to continue long into 2025 or 2026, since I think Tesla is a company that might eventually double.